Hi everyone, I'm Miss Amanda and I'm here with Miss Lisbeth. We work at the Menominee Falls Public Library and we're here today to read some firefighter stories in collaboration with Falls Cable Access and the Menominee Falls Fire Department. After the stories, make sure you stay tuned for a special surprise. Have you ever wanted to be a firefighter? In our first story, Bear Cub Ted wakes up and decides to become a firefighter. Firefighter Ted has a busy day trying to keep everyone safe. Let's read all about Ted's silly firefighting adventures. This story is called Firefighter Ted. It is written by Andrea Beatty and illustrated by Pascal Lemaitre. It is published by Simon & Schuster, and we're sharing this today with the publisher's permission. Firefighter Ted. One morning, Ted woke up and sniffed the air. It smelled like smoke. That's not good, thought Ted. I need a firefighter. Ted looked everywhere, but he couldn't find one. Not under his covers, not in the bookshelf, not under the chair. And since Ted couldn't find a firefighter, he became a firefighter. But every firefighter needs a fire truck. Firefighter Ted found a fire truck. That was lucky, he thought. I need a fire extinguisher too. Firefighter Ted looked everywhere else. Since he couldn't find a fire extinguisher, he made one. Now, where is that fire? Thought Firefighter Ted. Firefighter Ted searched the house. The kitchen was filled with smoke. It rose from a plate on the table. Stand back, shouted Firefighter Ted. He put out the toast and helped his mother to safety. That was your breakfast, said his mother. It still is, said Firefighter Ted, and now it's nutritious and safe. Go to school, said his mother. Remember, said Firefighter Ted, only you can prevent breakfast fires. It was very hot outside. The sidewalk sizzled and hurt Firefighter Ted's feet. He saw a kitten on the hot sidewalk. It needed help. Firefighter Ted rescued the kitten and 2 puppies and 3 tricycles. The crowd was speechless. No need to thank me, said Firefighter Ted, and he waved to the crowd. How do you think they're all going to get down from the tree now? Oh no. When Firefighter Ted arrived at school, the principal was waiting for him in the hallway. You are late, said Principal Bigham. Firefighter Ted frowned. You are blocking the fire alarm, he said. And he helped the principal to safety. Principal Bigham turned bright red. Watch out, said Firefighter Ted. You're overheating. Principal Bigham's face turned redder and redder still. Stop, drop, and roll, said Firefighter Ted, and he helped Principal Bigham to safety again. Principal Bigham was speechless. He pointed to Mrs. Johnson's room. No need to thank me, said Firefighter Ted. Mrs. Johnson's students were in line at the door. They were going to see the science fair exhibits in the cafeteria. A parade, shouted Firefighter Ted. Firefighters always lead parades. Firefighter Ted led the parade down the hall. Woo, woo, woo. All the other classes came out to watch. Everyone loves a parade, said Firefighter Ted, and he waved to the crowd. Firefighter Ted looked around the cafeteria. There was danger everywhere. Volcanoes! Yelled Firefighter Ted. He jumped into action. Firefighter Ted stopped the volcanoes from erupting and helped the students to safety. They were speechless. "No need to thank me," said Firefighter Ted. Suddenly, Firefighter Ted smelled something burning. A thin stream of smoke rose from Principal Bigum's pants. Oh no. The smoke got thicker and thicker. His pants got hotter and hotter. Principal Bigum ran this way and that. "Help!" he yelled. "Call a tailor! Call a janitor! Call the library! Just call somebody!" But Firefighter Ted was already there. He helped the principal to safety. He pulled the fire alarm and started the fire sprinklers. Just then, the tailor arrived with the janitor and a librarian. "You need pants," said the tailor. "And a mop," said the janitor. "Good thing you had Firefighter Ted," said the librarian. "My work here is done," said Firefighter Ted. "You can keep the fire extinguisher. And remember, only you can prevent pants fires." That night, Ted put away his fire truck and went to bed knowing he had done a good job. He lay awake for a very long time. There is so much to know about fire safety, he thought. A poster could help everyone understand. Ted did not have a poster. But I could make one, he thought, if I had a paintbrush. Do you think Ted will become an artist next? This was Firefighter Ted.
It's a Field Trip, Busy Bus by Jody Jensen Schaefer. And this book is illustrated by Claire Messer. And I am reading this with permission from the publisher, Simon & Schuster. Today is a special day, says Ben the bus driver. It's your first field trip, Busy Bus. Busy Bus can't wait. He and the children are going to meet a fire truck. "Welcome to the fire station," says the captain. "Let's meet Engine 4. Vroom! Engine 4 is red. Engine 4 is shiny. Engine 4 is huge. Engine 4 is a firefighting beast, says the captain. It saves people and their things. The children love Engine 4. Suddenly, Busy Bus feels very small. Oh no, Busy Bus looks sad. The captain lifts Engine 4's sliding doors. Zip! "These are hoses," she says. "Water runs through them so firefighters can put out fires." Whoosh! "I wish I could put out fires," thinks Busy Bus. "Sometimes there are fires in tall buildings," says the captain. "Firefighters use Engine 4's ladder to reach them." Engine 4's ladder goes up, up, up. Busy Bus can hardly see the top. "I wish I had a ladder," he thinks. Engine 4 rushes to emergencies. So firefighters use a siren to warn people they're coming. "Cover your ears, everyone," says the captain. Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo. Busy bus's wipers sag. I can't put out fires. I can't reach tall buildings. And the only sound I make is a honk, Busy Bus thinks. Will the children still like me? Then the captain says, Engine 4 is an amazing vehicle, but it can't do everything. Really, thinks Busy Bus? Engine 4 doesn't have a stop arm, so children can get on and off safely, she says. But I do, thinks Busy Bus. Do you see the stop arm? Engine 4 can't carry children to and from school each day. But I can, says Busy Bus. And Engine 4 can't take children on a field trip to learn about community helpers, says the captain. But I can, thinks Busy Bus, and I just did. Honk! Hooray for Busy Bus, cheer the children. Hooray for field trips and friends, thinks Busy Bus. Where will we go next? Those were some fun stories about firefighters. Now let's visit the Menominee Falls Fire Department and meet some real firefighters.
Hi, my name is Kurt Harthen. I'm a battalion chief with the Menominee Falls Fire Department. Today I'm going to talk to you about the gear a firefighter wears when they respond to a fire incident. I have firefighter Dan Corbin assisting me today. Firefighter Corbin has his gear all laid out and he's always ready to put it on because time is of the essence. He starts at the top and now he's going to jump into his boots, which he has pre-packaged with the pants we call bunker pants and suspenders. So they all go on kind of as one unit. Now these pants are special. They have a fire-resistant exterior and an insulating and water-resistant interior to protect him from the heat and the water we use in fire extinguishment. Because the pants get wet, they get heavy, so he has suspenders on. He'll continue by putting his coat on, and it is that same two-layer construction. We have pockets and we have straps and clips. You can attach your equipment that you need in the fire. He has a flashlight there. We do operate at night, and the fire scenes can get dark inside the buildings with the smoke, and we turn the electricity off for our own safety. The next step that firefighter Corbin is going to do is he's going to put his self-contained breathing apparatus on. The mask that we have has about 20 to 25 minutes of air capacity in it when we're working at a fire scene. One of the things firefighter Corbin does in the morning is he checks to make sure his mask is full of air and it's functioning. So he puts the mask on. Now he has a face piece. Firefighter Corbin is going to cover up all his skin to protect him, but that makes us very intimidating when we go into a fire. That's why we're doing this now, so you'll see what firefighter Corbin looks like and what he sounds like when he's using his self-contained breathing apparatus. You're hearing the alarms that tell firefighter Corbin his self-contained breathing apparatus is ready to go. And now he puts on the air. He has one thing left for his complete ensemble, is he needs something to protect his head from any falling debris and hot water that we would use during a fire. And to complete, we said firefighter Corbin was going to cover up all his skin and he'll have his pair of gloves on. Now, firefighter Corbin, say hi to the camera for us, please.
Hello, everybody.
So you can tell firefighter Corbin, his voice is slightly muffled by his breathing apparatus. We're not able to communicate as clearly as I am communicating now. We don't want you to be scared by that. Now you may hear that. That's an alarm that we have on the self-contained breathing apparatus that will tell us if a firefighter isn't moving. If for some reason they have an emergency and they stop moving, that alarm goes off to help us locate them. This is the way firefighter Corbin can tell how much air still remains in his self-contained breathing apparatus. There's a meter, so we're at approximately 3/4 of the tank still remains, and there's a visual display here as well, and it's backlit also. And that hangs here. This also acts as the warning device. If firefighter Corbin would have an emergency and he's not able to move, that will sense the lack of motion and it will alarm, alerting us to firefighter Corbin's emergency, and it'll act as a locating device so we can help find him. Moving around, here's the tank of air, and there is a small gauge on the back that allows us to tell how much air is in the tank as well. So we talked about a firefighter having an emergency. If a firefighter becomes low on air, there's this feature that allows firefighter Corbin to go in, find the firefighter that's low on air, and he can use this to connect to that firefighter's self-contained breathing apparatus and share his air with them to allow them to get out of the burning building. So this is one of Menominee Falls' earlier pieces of motorized fire apparatus. This is a 1930 Seagrave fire engine. It has a capacity of 100 gallons of water and a 500 gallon per minute pump. There's no enclosed cab. This was driven during all types of weather. So the controls back in 1930 were very simple. Moving the lever over, we'll take it out of road and put it into pump, and we have one discharge to connect the fire hose to on this side of the pump. There's only one place to get water, which was very important because we only carried 100 gallons of water.
I'm Acting Battalion Chief Brent Biedenbender, in charge of the training division, and we're going to take a tour. This is a 2020 Pierce Aero XT aerial platform. We took delivery of it in November of 2020 and put it in service January 1st after we equipped it with all the specialized equipment that we purchased. So inside the driver's seat, they have what we call command zone. And command zone gives the driver the ability to see the whole truck and what is going on with it. And so up on this little display is the command zone feature, and it tells the driver if the people are seated. So if I were to sit in this seat, it would turn that little thing red, and it'll flash until they put their seatbelt on. So that's one of the safety features that we built into the truck. And then it gives us fuel display, DEF fluid, which is for the fuel. And if we click the next button over, they can see heat controls, diagnostic, and they can go through all the other options and features of the truck. On the front, it's like a normal car. And so below the steering wheel is our miles per hour. It gives us fuel and air, and then they can control everything else. Moving into the back pod, this is where our firefighters ride. There's 2 seats. It holds 2 firefighters, a total of 4, so an officer, a driver, and then the 2 firefighters in the back. Right on the left side there is our tools that we use for forcible entry. So there's a Halligan bar married with an axe and a holder, so it's easy for our fire personnel in the back to exit with. In the compartment behind the net is some miscellaneous equipment. There's an AED in here, and some ladder belts. And so every time we go up on the turntable, we're required to wear a ladder belt for our safety. Down below in the silver part, you can see is the pump panel, and we opted for this specific type of puck, or it's called a puck pump, and Pierce only sells it. The puck stands for pump under cab. And so what they do is they put the pump under, it goes up and over the frame rails, and it gives us the ability to have more cabinet space on the truck. And so right above it is the hose lines that we use for fighting fires. So up top we have a 2.5 and then 2 1 3/4 cross lays. They're all They're called pre-connects because they're pre-connected to the truck, and it's easy for us to get water out of those for firefighting operations. The big yellow one next to it is a 50-foot supply line, and we use that to hook to the hydrant to get water into the engine. So moving down to the next compartment, this is our pump panel. This is what controls where the water comes out, where we bring the water in, so it controls the big intake valves. The intake valves are electronically controlled with these buttons, and then this one allows us to put water up to the aerial ladder. The rest of these control our hand lines, excuse me, foam system operation, primer, and this is the main controller for the pump itself. On the side over on the left wall is the controls for the lighting on the sides of the truck, the heater that heats the pump panel, and then there's controls for the two monitors that are on the front of the aerial platform. And so we opted to put controls down here in case it's fast moving and we need to get water out fast. We can control those nozzles from the panel. In the bottom is what we call the jaws of life. And so there's a big spreaders capable of spreading up to 31 inches, a cutters that can cut almost any part of a car, and it has 236,000 pounds of cutting force, and the spreader is capable of spreading roughly 100,000 pounds of spreading force. Those are both battery operated. All the tools that we carry are now battery operated. We don't have to plug anything in anymore. Back passenger side or officer side compartment has our complement of saws. One's a chainsaw. You can use it, we use it to cut trees, roofs, whatever we have to. It's designed to cut wood. The one behind it has a metal cutting blade on it. And so we use it for cutting open commercial doors, car hoods, whatever we need to, but it's designed to cut metal. This compartment, two fans up top. They are capable of positive pressure ventilation, and so we can use them simultaneously or we can use one at a time, and it helps evacuate smoke out of a building. Next to that are two more tool boards that slide out. It has battery operated hand tools on it. So there's various types. There's grinders, there's a sawzall, there's drills, and it all depends upon what we need as far as rescue concerns go and what we grab. Socket set, the empty bag is designed that we take the tools out. The trays is like a toolbox like your parents may have in your house or that you would have in your garage. It's full of miscellaneous tools. We can take them out, put them in the bag, go inside and do our rescue or whatever we have to do. We got some lights, some little box lights in here that we use to light up the inside of houses because we turn the power off when we're fighting a fire so we don't get electrocuted. So we bring our own lights in. These are just little cube lights, and they're easy for us to operate, and they're extremely bright. Up top in this compartment, there's an electrical junction box that we can take out. We can run this into the house. The cord that it's attached to is 250 feet long, so we can take it in. We can supply our own power. The truck has a generator on it that's capable of running this plus all the other stuff that's on it. And so if for some reason we need to bring ourselves electric, we can take this power box in. The next compartment has a little giant ladder or a step ladder that we can use for smaller residential stuff, or even in commercial buildings if we're looking for smoke in an office area, we can get up in the ceiling tiles with that. Two more tool boards that come out. This has our bigger tools on it that we need space for. There's 4-foot New York hooks on this side for pulling ceilings in confined areas, a bolt cutters, and a manhole cover puller. In here we have some more portable battery operated lighting, and so this one stands in the compartment fairly slim and then opens up. We can extend the top up. We can make it rather tall, and then we can tilt the head down to light an area inside of a house. This is the other side of the pump panel that we were talking about on the first side. It gives us the ability to discharge large volumes of water, intake that yellow hose off the back, And then above that is the same cross lays that we saw on the other side. This side is the same as the other side. The only difference is in this compartment here, we have a thermal imaging camera and then Knox box keys that we use to get into buildings after hours. And so you can also access that camera from the little compartment door right here. This is what we call the officer seat. So whoever's in charge of the ladder truck for that day would ride in here. They have access to the radio, the sirens, and some of the other features that we'll show you when we go outside. This little computer here is our CAD screen, and that's where our dispatch information shows up. And so when we get a call on that screen, it would tell us where we're going. We can acknowledge dispatch without talking on the radio. It's all push button, and they can see it on their side when we get dispatched. In the front bumper, we have a hose line as well. It's yellow jacketed rubber hose, and so we use this for car fires and dumpster fires, and it makes it quick access for our crews. It's only 100 feet long. It doesn't stretch as far as the ones on the side of the truck, so it makes it a lot easier. If we open the cover, there's some 6-foot New York hooks in here like we saw on the back of the truck. We put them in here so it's easier for our crews to get. The wrenches you see over here, the middle one's a hydrant wrench and the other two are spanner wrenches, and we use those for tightening the couplings, which would be this. In the hose, if it was leaking really bad, we use those two wrenches together to tighten. On the far side, we have our traffic cones, which we set out so traffic doesn't hit us. These are collapsible versions, so they fit on the truck easy, and they're easy for us to store. If you look up, you can see the front of the platforms here. So we have two big monitors up there. They're capable of flowing 1,500 gallons a minute apiece. And then in the middle, there's a little discharge that we can use for like an elevated waterway on a roof if we had to bring ourselves water. All right, so now that we've went through the whole truck in here, we're gonna take it outside and we'll put it up in the air so everybody can see what it looks like when it's up. Now that we've come outside, we're gonna show you, we've already set up the outrigger so we can take the ladder out of the bed, and we'll show you how the aerial ladder works. So the steps in the side get us up to the top. I'm gonna go all the way up to the platform, and then I'll come back around and I'll bring it down to the ground so we can take a look inside of it. So now that we brought the aerial ladder out, we can bring it down, we can show you some of the features inside of it. In this back compartment, we carry some hose. So if we have to work on a rooftop, we can bring water up to 104 feet, and we can get ourselves some work up top with the hose. The screen operates the ladder. It tells you how much weight you can put inside the platform. It'll give you how many feet you are out from the truck, how high you are off the ground, and it'll give you a load conversion. When you're flowing water, it'll tell you how many gallons per minute are coming out of the end of the water nozzles. There's a speaker up here, so the operator that's on the turntable can always keep track of what we're doing, and they can hear us talking. Now we're going to take it up, and we're going to go up top, and we'll see you at 100 feet.
We hope you had fun exploring our local fire station from home. That ladder truck was pretty awesome.
If you would like to read more books about firefighters and fire engines, head over to our website at menomineyfallslibrary.org to check out a list of books that we picked out especially for you.
Thanks for joining us. Watch Falls Cable Access Channel 14 for more fun videos. See you next time.